respectively. For music, we will hear from our good friend Steve Vignarzik from the University of Guam, and as far as culture, Monica Guzman and Vice Speaker BJ Cruz will be here to talk about the Festival of Pacific Arts. But as far as culture, Peter Onedera and Monte Mesa are here with me right now, and they are part of the Guam Nikkei Association to teach you and other Guamanians about possible Japanese ancestry. Gentlemen, hafa and thanks for being here.
Hafa day.
It's a fascinating subject that we're gathered here today. So Peter, if you can just lead off and just exactly what is the association and how was it formed?
Well, the Guam Nikkei Association was actually in existence for a few years, and it wasn't until just October 3rd, 2011 that we finally put it to fruition, and then we chartered it with a huge membership meeting that took place at the office of the Consul General in Tamuning. And from there we ended up with 48 members, now comprised of members of the community, those who claim Japanese ancestry, and have been living here in Guam. And it's not just Chamorros, but we've got members who come from elsewhere, like the CNMI and Republic of Palau and the Marshalls and Okinawa, Hawaii, and the mainland U.S. And we welcome actually anyone who wants to, or who claims Japanese ancestry and would like to become involved. And all they need to be is to be the age of 18 and over. And we encourage them and their families to be a part of our association.
Well, Monty, this is a really unique networking event, kind of with a twist, because a lot of people, they may not be able to truly identify with their Japanese lineage, but I mean, they may know that they are at some point Japanese. So it's kind of a bunch of people can share and kind of like talk about a culture that they may or may not, fully understand.
That's correct, and one of the attractions for me and a personal goal of mine, my mother is a first-generation Japanese under the name Noda, and she was an only child, and she's been passed last year. But one of the goals, and my family's goals, is to try to hopefully trace the Noda ancestry in Japan. We know a notable name, the former Prime Minister Noda. So we want to try to see we can connect somehow and trace that, and along with the help, hopefully, of the Consul General's office, who has offered and who's very excited, Consul General Shimizu, his first assignment here came to Guam, and he said, wow, there's so many Guamanian people or Chamorro people with Japanese name and ancestry. So he was very curious about this, and this is what Peter was talking about. He helped kind of solidify again and renew the interest of moving this association further along and continuing that bridge and relationship that we enjoy today as a tourism economic base from our main market, Japanese, but in one way solidifying that relationship with the people of Guam who have some ancestry and some relations that we want to enhance more.
And that's a daunting challenge because, just tracing your ancestry in any way is always going to be really, really complex. And I mean, I guess you have to go, like you said, to at the government level, and you kind of have to like find out who you're related to and see what sort of documentation and paper trail is laid out. So
exactly, it's been a challenge, at least from our personal experience, to track the record keeping, especially because most of it was lost during the war, at least on the Guam side. And when we went to Japan side and looked at and the travel at that time was only ships, trading ships. And they also, kept records, but written, and a lot of them also were lost somewhere. And that's where we ended up, and could trace it from the port to where the prefecture, our family, or my grandfather would be coming from. So we wanted to take that next step, and hopefully through the association and learning from some of the members now who have successfully made that relationship, like, for example, Frank Shimizu's family. They've successfully traced their family connection to Japan and now have regular communication. The other group also was
Frank Ishizaki is another former senator. Frank Ishizaki is also on our board membership. And actually, he was
Tanaka also.
Tanaka is on our board, and a great deal of the members who have become interested and have joined us. There's a great deal of oral history too, and of course, we're not just confining ourselves to just Guam. But the Japanese community, or the Japanese ancestry, actually began in the early 1900s through the efforts of Frank Shimizu's grandfather, who everybody knows in the community as Tatankatse. So that aspect of our history is deeply embedded among many families, but at the same time, there are families like Monte has mentioned, his mother's origins is obscured somewhere down the line as to the history behind it. And it's true, many of the members that we have today have established contact with distant relatives in Japan, but at the same time, there's also members who don't know anything, aside from the fact that their surnames are reflected in their legal names, so to speak. And that's how they know that they do have Japanese ancestry.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you. It's a fascinating project, and we can't wait to cover it for you. This is going to happen at the Guam Premier Outlets on the 26th.
Correct. It's Saturday afternoon from 10 to 3. And we'll have some of those families that have successfully connected. We'll display some of their history.
Family trees, photographs, memorabilia, heirlooms. Some people have heirlooms that have been passed down through the years. And again, it's not just confined to Guam, but those of our members who come from Hawaii or Palau or Saipan, whatever, are also a part of our group, and we encourage them to be there and to, so we call this event the Guam Nikkei Jin Exhibit 2013. Right. So we certainly encourage the public to come, and we'll also be having membership applications for those who want to express, to join us. And they don't necessarily have to be Japanese per se or connected Japanese, but if they're interested in also helping us out, we'll welcome that. So,
all right.
It's open to the community at large.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, gentlemen. We can't wait to cover it for you.
Well, thank you.
All right, and stay tuned.